if you want to see this guy bring it back and force game number 3, we got the orange player for Knights Gaming. I saw Knights Gaming in the house here for chat. Make some noise for your good buddy. The orange Protoss top left here on ESV Ohana. We got Mobiwan.
And in the bottom right-hand corner, the pink Zerg player Hephaistas. Coming out ahead in that, quite frankly, weird game on map number 1 on Daybreak. That's just stuff we don't usually see at all. I mean, 4-gate into not doing anything, into double Stargate, 17-minute 1-1. Like, what? That was crazy. Some really weird stuff from these players in game 1, and excited to see what they're going to show us in game 2.
Yeah, going to be very exciting indeed. Now, what is going on over here? Mobiwan looking like he's going to go for this gateway expansion. In-base gateway expand once again. Not going to be something like a 2-gate lower expand, which is actually a build that I really do hate to play against as a Zerg. That is just a very hard build to defend against as a Zerg without overcommitting, and it gives a lot of options to your Protoss player. And I guess Mobiwan was just saying that he likes this map a little bit better. Yeah, I bet you do. We'll see if we see a Soul Train.
Again, look, like, Protoss players just don't like Daybreak as much anymore, especially against Zerg, because it's so easy for Zerg to, it's so easy for Zerg to go split map on it, so very fast gas out of Hephaistas, who once again goes hatch first.
Yeah, for sure. Now, our Zerg player going hatch first into extractor, and then spawning pool, so gets that gas very, very quickly. Going to be able to protect against any kind of early gateway aggression once again. Now, the Overlord is going to come in here, and it spots the pylon on the low ground along with the Nexus. So you might see this, and if you didn't look at the game clock, you would say, okay, Nexus before Forge expand. But there's already a cyber core and a gateway inside. I'm sure that Hephaistas is actually quite aware at this point that there is something different going on here. There could either be some kind of a proxy, or that more likely there's a gateway and a cyber already going down back at home.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, again, Mobiwan, he's getting up to a second gas right here. I'm really interested to see how he follows this up this time. Is he going to go for 3 extra gateways? Is he going to go for just 2 gateways and a forge? I am really intrigued to see what he's going to go for, and I think a forge would be a better option. 2 gateways and a forge instead of going up to 4 gateways, unless of course he does have a plan to use them maybe this time around, which I'm sure he did last time, but he just saw no third, so he probably thought, well, why use them? Which is completely fair.
I think that the 4-gate pressure build there on Daybreak is a good build, just because you're oftentimes able to get into that third that you talked about. It's a lot further away from the natural. Without good creep spread, it's really hard to defend that 4-gate pressure without taking significant losses and having to build a ton of units. So the 4-gate pressure is great to force out units on Daybreak. On Ohana, Zergs tend to take a little bit more time before they actually do build that third. So I think that the 4-gate pressure is not suited to that as well. Instead, maybe take a little bit quicker tech and maybe start to set up on a big 2-base timing, which is, well, once again, we see 4 gates coming out, and Warp Gate's going to be finished up, so maybe Mobiwan looking for that 4-gate pressure again as well. Not going to be looking for that Robo.
Hephaistas is reading his opponent so well. He's saying, you don't get a forge? Well, guess what I'm going to make? I'm going to make roaches and lings and try and bust you, and that could be so powerful here. We're going to see in the near future as these units are going to start moving across the map, and basically Mobiwan's going to have to rely on sentries, and we could see a very fast game number 2 right now, because these units are moving across the map, and Mobiwan has no
this
idea.
is about to be really bad.
Oh no!
He needs a warp in, but there's nothing to warp into right here.
He warps in zealots, and that's what he needs at all. This first sentry is going to go down. Roaches are coming up as well,
but those force fields aren't going to do anything. No early upgrades. The Roach is going to flank the zealots right here. This is terrible for Mobiwan. Oh my god, Hephaistas is going to be able to do a lot of damage. Kills off 3, 4 of these Zealots. All the Roaches still up. No Photon Cannon be coming down. Chrono Boost onto the Warp Gates. The Roach is still able to fire onto the high ground and put some pressure onto that pylon. They do back up though, and they're just going to be trying to wait out these sentries. But the more sentries that are warped in right here, a total of 5 sentries. These are not combat units.
He doesn't have... Yeah, I mean, they're not combat units. He doesn't really have enough force fields.
Yep.
These Lings are going to start streaming up here now. Another force field goes down. I think he'd be best to just... Maybe even just sacrifice the units attacking on the gateway or so.
I agree.
And, well,
so
we'll see if that's... Yeah, he does as well, so... Here we go, the wall going off again. I think Hephaistas can really pressure this a bit more. I think he can afford to take down that pylon again. I really think he could have took down some more pylons and really forced his way in here. But he's just going to sit on his tower now and, well, probably take a third of his own as his lair comes up. We'll see what he wants to go for. He's actually going to start working down on the rocks to the right.
Yeah, this is actually a pretty good choice. Something that our Protoss player is probably well aware of. He's going to start to build a secondary wall over here. This is going to force a lot more gateways out, though, and the gateways aren't what you need to counter this. The Zerg army with Roaches and Lings is actually going to do very well. If upgrades are even or ahead for the Zerg, he's going to do very well against the pure gateway army, especially once he gets Infestors in, depending on the positioning. The Immortals are what he's going to need to actually deal with this, and Immortals are countered by air, which, damn, Hephaistas reading my mind drops a Spire. I love this play following up. Go into the Mutalist transition when you force down all these gateway units, then into the Immortals. And because from here, your Protoss player is kind of thinking, what am I going to do? I've got Immortals, I've got the Robo, I'm going to be looking toward Colossi. Mutalists do very well against everything that comes out of a Robo.
Most definitely, and I think Hephaistas is getting himself in a fantastic position. He's going to start taking his gases so that when his third base comes up, he'll be able to mine the gas there immediately. The only thing I have to say right now is he should really think about taking down the rocks between his natural and third with some of these units that he's got out. So he's doing great so far, and Mobiwan's probably going to be thinking about taking a third base here as well, as he's got the sentry count, he's got his immortal count increasing too, and he's soon going to go into Colossi. So if there's ever a time to take your fourth base, your third base, now is that time. There's a little bit of his harass comes into the third, and it's going to get 1, maybe even 2 drones here.
Yeah, he's going to get 2, and looks like not a whole lot of units being pulled over to deal with this yet. He's probably going to get a total
gets
of 4. Might even
is he going to hit 5?
Yeah.
Wow.
Whoa, almost got 6 right there. Choosing to bring over the slower Roaches than the Zerglings. But 10 Mutalisks in production right now. Something else that's going to be great right now for our Zerg player is the map control that he has. He's got both the Xel'Naga watchtowers. He's got some overlords in position. And our Protoss player is so concerned about getting those Immortals out and defending from the ground push, he does not have any observers on the map. He has absolutely no clue what's coming. And Ohana right now, with no Blink coming out, with no Phoenix production, and no cannons on the ground, these Mutalisks are absolutely going to crush.
No upgrades from Mobiwan, and that means he's in a really tough position because the Mutas are just gonna... I mean, usually when you see Blink Stalkers and just Stalkers in general going after Mutas, Mutas can sometimes trade reasonably well, even against +2, +3 Stalkers. But this is 0/0 Stalkers. These Mutas are going to do so much damage, and their first run into the main is going to just do way too much damage. There's going to be like, what, 15, 20 workers that go down. We're on 5 right now. I reckon we're going to end up on 23.
At 18. Over or under?
I go over at 21. I say 21.
Okay.
That's what we're going to end up at.
Go
as in what we finish at on the bar.
All right, here
let's
we go.
And 5.
That's a lot of workers dying. That's a lot of workers dying. He focused on the Nexus a little bit too much. Oh, we were both wrong. I didn't actually say, but I thought. I was saying it like, I was thinking 19. He targeted fired the Nexus twice right there on accident. So not perfect control, but still able to get 12 workers. I feel like he should have been able to do more with those first rounds of Mutalisks, though.
Yeah, I think he should have been able to do more. I think it was a bit of a mistake, a couple of the shots that he fired there. In fact, he didn't kill any workers when they were initially pulled, which is a huge mistake. He had a huge timing, and, well, Mobiwan is now rushing to get his Twilight counters up, but look at this, at the same time, double expand from Hephaistas. He knows how to play with Mutas, he knows he can do this kind of stuff, and double expand, take the whole map to himself, and, Well, how fast is he going to invest is the next kind of question, as he can just continue committing to meters if he wants, and he's going to start with +2 flyers, and there is 7 more meters.
Unless Archons come out, unless Templar Tech comes out here, our Protoss player is going to quickly find himself falling further and further behind. The combination of Mutalisks and Zerglings will decimate on this map. This amount of Mutalisks will actually crush through these Stalkers. Like, watch.
Yeah,
they're,
like
they're
it
just gonna
seems
trade right
ridiculous. Yeah, exactly. And this is 0-0 Stalkers. They literally cannot fight Mutalisks right now in this sort of numbers, and this is why I was worried for Mobiwan. The 1-1 isn't finished, and despite his Corona boost, and he's not got enough Stalkers. There is an anti-air up for Mobiwan. Hephaistas looking so good in game 2. Is he going to just 2-0 Mobiwan right now?
I think
go into
there's
the finals?
no other option right now. I mean, these probes are going to get pulled once again, but these +1 mutas.
Look at the lack of anti-air. All these sentries can just go down immediately. Everything, all the army can go down here. I don't know why he's running away if he was happy to engage the Stalkers before.
I think, no. I like that. He needs to wait until, there we go. He attacks with the 3rd at the same time, and now he's going to wait until the units are being drawn to the 3rd so that they can actually attack in right here. And will engage against the sentries. Now, +1/1 is up with the Guardian Shield, so it's going to be a little bit harder here, but the Mutalisk numbers are just overwhelming.
Yeah,
21 in the sky. Every unit capable of shooting up, every unit with a neck is now dead, and Hephaistas
it's too far gone.
Well, working on the forges for now. The 3rd base lost a couple of gateways over there, and he's playing this game phenomenally. His decision-making in this game has been impeccable.
Yeah, I mean, just better build, really. Success. You know, like as if I understand what's going on. Well,
there you
I think Mobiwan did say it best.
GG comes on out, and that's gonna do it. Your